Hey y'all, I'm back with another video and today we're preparing Sunday dinner. I'm cooking a tender slow roasted prime rib roast, like look at that, and I'm going to be pairing it with baked mac and cheese, potato salad, and a few other sides. So let's get started. Never know I fall for you. Ignoring when you calling me. It was just a summer rendezvous. Then you gotta get a hold of me. Now your love keep growing on me. Girl, you got my love grown for you. So I'm gonna start by preparing the prime rib first because of course it's gonna take the longest to cook. So the first thing I did was wash the meat and I'm using paper towel to pat dry the cut of meat all over. Next, I'm going to use a knife to poke some holes all over, and so that way when I add the seasonings, it can, the flavor will be all through the meat and not just on the outsides. Okay, so let me say, you guys, I am making this how I like my prime rib to taste. Okay, it's not going to be standard recipe for a prime rib because that's not the way I cook mine. Okay, so if you want a recipe that's going to be delicious in the end, tender, almost melting in your mouth, and full of flavor, follow this recipe. Okay, so I'm seasoning it with some green seasoning mix, and I'm making sure that I push the seasoning into the holes that I pierced earlier into the prime rib. After I added the green seasoning, I sprinkled some salt, a good amount of salt, some smoked paprika, and onion mix seasoning. I also did some all-purpose seasoning and garlic powder all over the meat. And you want to add a good amount of each of the seasonings because I'm telling you, if you think you're not adding enough, you probably aren't. This is a big cut of meat and it's going to take a lot of seasonings to, make it taste delicious. Okay, so next in a bowl, I have mayonnaise, and to it, I'm gonna add a little bit of oregano, some more of the smoked paprika and onion seasoning, and lastly, some sour cream. Mix until well combined, and this is gonna add more flavor to the roast, you guys. It's gonna make it so tender. If you're iffy about the mayo, what I would say is try using just the sour cream and rubbing that on the meat. Oh, I forgot to mention, you guys, after I added the green seasoning and all of the spices, what I did was I covered the prime rib, put it into my refrigerator, and I let it marinate overnight for a few hours so the flavor can really take. Okay, and right before we're ready to cook, about 2 hours before the rib is ready to cook, what I did was I took it out, and I know you want to add this mayo sour cream mixture. Okay, and I'm adding some more salt because like I said, it's gonna take some seasoning to make sure the rib is tasting good. Okay, you don't want to over salt it, but you want to add a good amount. Once that is done, I chopped up some onion. I'm using yellow onion, red onion, and carrots. You could also do celery if you have it on hand. And I'm just going to add it around the pan in my baking dish. Once I added that, I'm going to cover the pan using foil paper. And I preheated my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the oven is preheated, I place that into the oven. Make sure you seal the pan really well. And I let the roast cook for 2 hours covered. So after the 2 hours, I will remove it and show it to you guys so you can see how it looks. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to get started on the potato salad. So I got my pot of water on the stove and I'm adding my potatoes, which I cut into quarters. I also added 2 eggs and I'm going to let that come to a boil. While that is coming to a boil, I'm going to prep the veggies for the potato salad. So I'm going to be using celery, a little bit of red pepper. I also finely diced some onion. I'm using regular onion, but you can use red onion instead. And I'm going to place all of that into a large bowl. Also, I forgot to mention, when I'm cooking my potatoes, I leave the skin on because to me it's easier to peel them once they're cooked
the skin comes right off. Okay, so that's why I did that. But if you prefer to remove the skin before you boil them, you can go ahead and do that. So once my potatoes is cooked in about 10 to 15 minutes, I remove the water and I let it cool. Then I remove the skin, I shell my eggs, and then we're gonna start putting everything together. So I'm doing the eggs, and I just use a fork to break the eggs up. If you want, you can use a knife if that's easier for you. Okay, and we're gonna add it into this large bowl with the rest of the ingredients. So the potatoes, make sure you cut the potatoes into small cubes, not too small, but you know, a good size, you know what I mean. Add all of the veggies, and next I'm gonna add the seasonings. So I'm using seasoned salt. You can use regular salt instead. I'm also gonna add onion and garlic powder and a little bit of black pepper. I also added in a little bit of regular white sugar, okay, and I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow mustard and then mayo. And with the mayo, you want to start off with a little at a time, and you add more as needed, okay. And you're gonna mix the potato salad together until it's nice and creamy. Okay, so once I'm finished mixing the potato salad together and it's creamy and delicious, I'm gonna cover it with plastic wrap and place it into the refrigerator and let it stay there until we're ready to serve. Okay, let all that flavor blend together. Alright, you guys, so next I'm gonna start making my mac and cheese. I'm not really giving you guys a full mac and cheese recipe here because I have probably 2 to 3 recipes already on my channel. I will link it down below for you guys, okay, on how to make baked mac and cheese. I basically made it the same here. I will link that video for you. The only thing I did different was I didn't shred the cheese. As you can see, I left it whole and just mixed it into the macaroni. But I will give you a good delicious mac and cheese recipe linked in my description box. You can check it out there if you want to see how I make mine, and it comes out amazing every time. So yes, for Sunday dinner today I made potato salad, baked mac and cheese, my delicious tender melt in your mouth prime rib roast. It came out so good. And I also made some stewed pigeon peas, and just some sauteed veggies, cabbage, broccoli, and so on to go with my dinner. Look at that baked mac and cheese. Don't it look good? So I just took it out of the oven. For the first 30 minutes I covered it, and then I put it back for about 15 minutes so that it can get nice and golden brown on top, uncovered. And here is the prime rib, you guys. This is at the 2-hour mark. So I removed the foil and I'm gonna place it back into the oven to finish cooking for 1 more hour, okay. And yeah, this is my baked mac and cheese, looking good, looking good. And after 3 hours, you guys, this is the prime rib. Look at it, looks beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna cut into it to show you guys. And yes, I cooked my prime rib to medium well or well done, whichever one, but it was cooked. Okay, I know most people prefer there's more red, if I should say, but this is how I like mine. If you like yours more rare, what you can do is cook it for less time. Okay, and it was super tender. Like you can see, it's tender, you guys. It's so delicious. I hope you give this recipe a try. It's easy to make and it's absolutely delicious. The most important part is to season it really well. Make sure you add enough seasoning and salt, and then enjoy. So I hope you guys enjoyed my Sunday dinner video today. This is what I made last Sunday, and it was amazing. I will see you guys next Sunday for another Sunday dinner spread. For the rest of the video, I'm just going to be showing you guys me plating everything: the baked mac and cheese, my prime rib roast, the stew peas, sauteed veggies, and creamy potato salad. So I hope you enjoyed. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.